Sudhir Selveraj joins us now from the UK. He's Assistant Professor in Peace Studies and International Development at the University of Bradford and a Research Associate with the Centre for Asia Studies in Africa at the University of Pretoria. Thanks for speaking to France 24.
Thank you for having me.
Just how bad have things got then?
It's not good, that's for sure. So things are probably at its worst point as in 2019, following the Pulwama attack. But diplomatic relations are at a relatively low state right now with what we're seeing following the attacks in Pahalgam. We can see that after the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, Pakistan has responded by suspending the Simla Treaty and now weighing options on both sides about what to do in the future. But right now, diplomatic relations are at a very low point.
And what do we know about the trigger, that attack on Tuesday? Do we know with any certainty who carried it out?
Well, there's no actual certainty about who carried it out, but it's clear who has taken responsibility, and that is the Resistance Front. The Resistance Front is a lesser-known militant group operating in Kashmir, largely formed in 2019 in response to the Indian government's abrogation of the state of Kashmir. Kashmir was granted special status under the Indian constitution and operated as a state. But in 2019, the Modi government withdrew that and has separated Jammu and Kashmir into two separate union territories, bringing it under greater control of the union government. And this, as you can imagine, has changed the demographics in Kashmir and brought about a larger response from the militant groups there. But many people still believe that the Resistance Front is very much a front or a proxy for the LET, which is a larger terrorist group operating in the area and is responsible for the Mumbai attacks, which killed 176 Indians.
Now, this shooting that's been ongoing over the border between soldiers, we've seen various provocations, if you like, over the years, such as fist fights. Are they really shooting to kill, or is this kind of just threats and arm flexing, if you will?
Yeah, there's constant incursions across LOC and violence that takes place. But the goal is, well, not really the goal. Oftentimes we get the news about the smaller incidents, but the larger incidents is what provokes a response. And these have come in 2016 in Uri and 2019 in Pulwama. And this is why this particular attack that happened this week is concerning, because not only has it reached the threshold for what constitutes a larger attack, but also it is largely targeting civilians, as opposed to 2016 and 19, where it was military personnel.
Just remind us about that water sharing treaty and why this is an important piece.
Absolutely. So the Indus Water Treaty is considered one of the most successful water treaties anywhere in the world. It splits the share of water of the Indus River between Pakistan and India, 80% to Pakistan, 20% to India. Now, this water is a lifeline for Pakistan. It's responsible for a large amount of the irrigation that it receives and indirectly responsible for 25% of its GDP. India has suspended this water treaty, and note that this is the first time. In 2016 and 19, there were threats and there were points made that they would suspend it, but this is the first time it's actually been suspended. And Pakistan has responded by calling it an act of war, or previously water terrorism. So this could change not too much in the immediate future in terms of water usage and water receiving in Pakistan, but in the future, this could lead to a higher level of drought, and particularly in the context of climate change.
And other measures in this tit-for-tat have included Pakistan closing its airspace to Indian airlines. We've also seen both sides scrapping visas, expelling people. Many families are even stranded at the border. How is this fight just affecting people's lives already at this moment?
Well, the biggest concern, and this has been a historic a relationship between India and Pakistan, which has been adversarial and contested, obviously. But as you can imagine, there's a large amount of uncertainty going on. Following the suspension of Indus Water Treaty, Pakistan has suspended the Simla Act, which was an act brought into power to end the 1971 war over the formation of Pakistan, over the formation of Bangladesh. So with both countries making these measures, it is building up to a tenser relationship, and it's palpable. More than anything else, the rhetoric on both sides is intended to send messages to each other, and of course, it's not a good state.
And just remind us again, if you can, of what exactly happened in 2019 when relations were around this bad. There was that attack that you mentioned. What happened, and how is it different to what's going on at the moment?
So the Pulwama attack happened in 2019, and this was largely targeted at military personnel. I believe it was about 40 military personnel, when a suicide bomber blew themselves up close to a military group. Following which, India responded with surgical strikes in 2016 for the previous attack, but also with ground troops in 2019. Yes, sorry, that's the whole response. But the situation following that ended up being pretty bleak, and relations have been very cold and sour since then. In some senses, it feels like it warms in certain times, but largely that has been the low point up until now.
All right, Sudhir Selveraj, thank you very much for that analysis.